What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about a few different horror topics in this video here today. We'll be talking about Welcome to Derry, Companion, Hard Eyes, and Scream 7. Starting off here with Welcome to Derry. Bloody Disgusting put out a report that states, in a chat with Radio TU, Andy Muschietti has revealed that there's a 3-season plan in mind for Welcome to Derry. The series will be told backwards at different times in Derry's tragic history. First season is 1962, the second season is 1935, and the third season is 1908. The article that was put out from Bloody Disgusting goes on to say it's a story that's based, this is what Andy had to say in his interview with Radio TU. He said it's a story that's based on the interludes of the book. The interludes are basically chapters that reflect Mike Hanlon's research. They are fragments of his research. For 27 years, it's the guy trying to figure out what it is, what did it, who saw it, and all that stuff. So they talk about catastrophic events from the past, like the fire in the Black Spot, the massacre of the Bradley Gang, a gang of bank robbers in the 30s, and the explosion of the Kitchener Ironworks. The filmmaker continues, every time Pennywise comes out of hibernation, there's a catastrophic event that happens at the beginning of that cycle. Now, I feel like we've gotten comments about this being interluded with the character of Mike in the past, so he's just doubling down on that. And he concluded by saying we are basing the 3 seasons of this series on each of these catastrophic events. So basically Fear Street style, essentially. Or am I tripping? It sounds like Fear Street to me. I listened to the interview myself and also discovered Muschietti letting it be known that the plan is to drop the series this fall in September. We already knew of a fall release plan, but Andy specifically says September. Now, this was being translated, so perhaps the translation is wrong, but when listening and playing it back, I did hear him, I think, say September just in Spanish. So 2025 is already stacked when it comes to shows that I'm looking forward to, because now, remembering that Pennywise is coming back this fall, I'd have to say that Welcome to Derry is actually in my top 3 most anticipated shows releasing this year from the horror genre. The other 2 are the final season of You and, the final season of Stranger Things. Ironically, both of those are just final seasons of hit shows. At one point during this interview, which I'll link down in the comment section, he talked about the influences of the Cold War and all of the things that were transpiring at the time, how that impacts the story. Of course, 3 seasons could be cut short if no one watches the first season, but I love a game plan heading into a show versus writing as you go and leaving your viewers with a mess. Pretty Little Iris. Now, let's talk about the Companion trailer. So, we got a new Companion trailer, and if you've been following my coverage, you'll know I told you a few months back, and I alluded to this on Twitter, just without a project attached to it, that there is a huge twist in mind for this movie. However, they decided to reveal said twist in the latest trailer, but don't worry, according to director Drew Hancock, this is all justifiable with his explanation that he gave to Entertainment Weekly. Now, if you don't want any spoilers about this movie, don't watch the trailer. I guess skip ahead a few minutes. I'll leave timestamps in the description. But this is what Drew Hancock said as it pertains to the explanation as to why they revealed that this is about a sex robot gone wild. He said the silver lining of showing the audience that this is a movie about a robot is it's a way to kind of get ahead of anyone dismissing it as another robot movie. Because it'd be easy to just be like, this is Megan, or this is the Megan Fox movie. It's a little different to be like, no, this is a robot movie, but it's not like any other robot movie that's out right now. It's not AI gone wrong, it's AI gone right. The movie doesn't really start until that reveal. It's a movie about self-discovery, and at its core is a breakup movie about this woman finding empowerment through discovery of self. My problem so far with his comment is that the movie, like he stated, doesn't start with you knowing this about Iris. So you could have taken certain scenes that are now in the film, and now on a first watch, whatever I'm experiencing up until that revelation is probably going to be a chore to sit through, and it's probably going to be less engaging just on a first watch. Whereas multiple revisits will obviously grow on me. But if you're telling me the movie doesn't start until we get that cat out of the bag early on, I don't even know why we had to reveal it in the trailer. But whatever. Yes, they were basically alluding to it throughout the other teases we were getting, but they never made it so abundantly clear more than they did right now with dialogue and just certain scenes of Iris and what she's doing with herself and her eyes rolling in the back of her head, turning white. Obviously, they're not rolling. It's just another sign that this is not even a human being. It's AI. But whatever. From what I've heard, Companion should still be a fun watch. I just knew and had a gut feeling they were going to let this cat out of the bag. I knew these studios could not hold it in. They love letting you know about certain things that they tell certain others to keep a secret. That's what never makes sense to me. Why keep it a secret if you're going to just let the secret out? Now, let's talk about Hard Eyes. So we got the Hard Eyes trailer a couple of days ago, and this film is supposed to be dropping this Valentine's Day season in theaters. I will say the trailer makes the film look fun enough. I'll give it that. If you watched my Hard Eyes rumored plot details video, you'll recall I did at one point mention that Jordana Brewster, who is starring in this film, will be playing a cop of sort or some sort of investigative role related to the case, and this trailer confirmed that. She's starring as one half of an alleged duo named Hobbs and Shaw, something that just still makes me chuckle. I find it to be completely funny considering she's from the Fast and Furious franchise, and Mason referred to his arms as Hobbs and Shaw during Scream 5. For the past several years, the Hard Eyes killer has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and murdering romantic couples. This Valentine's Day, no couple is safe. After watching said trailer a few times, I can agree it does show a bit too much for my taste, but the final act isn't there, at least. I know that to be true. They don't have the final act here. If you pause certain frames, you can identify which stars seem to be dying and a little bit more. So watch the trailer if you must, but you've been warned. And I will leave you with this about Hard Eyes. Keep the word kink in mind. If you watch or if you've watched the trailer, the word kink probably sounds familiar. It's used in there, and you should have that in mind when watching. Just keep that in mind, and this will age well when you come back and revisit it. And just remember that I use the word kink. Let's end this video by talking about Scream 7. So Scream 7 is filming as we speak. Daniel RPK has chimed in to let us know that Patrick Dempsey will be back despite not being on set at the moment. The rumor I've heard is that he's going to be there later in the month, so we'll see if that ends up being true. Set photos have started making their way online, and despite efforts to withhold the location of where filming is currently occurring, it's been confirmed that filming is taking place at Varner's Restaurant and Tavern, most of which seem to be night shoots. The alleged stars included for these shoots are Mason and Celeste. I also previously mentioned that there's a chance Sydney is going to be owning her own business, so this location could be said business, but we don't have confirmation of that just yet. So Sydney owning a restaurant, I don't think is that unbelievable. Some people might disagree. I've pointed out that there's a gigantic time jump in between 6 and 7 that people just seem to ignore. She could have launched this business during that time jump. This is a woman who lived in fear of the public during her late teens to early 20s. She was very shut off and disconnected from life. She brought herself out of darkness, as she herself puts it, during what happened in Scream 4. So giving back to the public like this and enjoying the company of a community isn't too far-fetched. I just don't find it too unbelievable that this is a woman who is now continuing to show that she's out of the darkness by owning her own business that is open to serving the public. So, and if I consider the fact that many of us were theorizing the generic opening plan being starting off in the Kincaid house, why start in the Kincaid house when you can start in the Kincaid owned restaurant? I'm just saying, they literally are taking something that we were expecting, and we could be seeing the film start off in a restaurant owned by Sydney and Kincaid, primarily Sydney, versus their house, because a house is expected. Having a Ghostface attack in the restaurant that you own or whatever business it is, again, if it's true, because it hasn't been confirmed, that's just a very inventive way to catch us off guard for already expecting it to start off in a house. And it's a nice way to reintroduce Ghostface back into Sydney's life by having her business interrupted by more of the bloodshed that she thought that she left behind all those years ago. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can never miss a video. In the description, I'll have links on my social media accounts. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know any movies, news, or reviews you would like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.